Hey guys, today we're going to be making a Ghostbusters project. It's going to look like this. So first you're just going to click on the green flag to start the game, and ghosts will start appearing, and you're supposed to click on them to get points, increase your score. And there's a timer on the top right, and as soon as it runs out, the game ends. And you can see I have a score of 17, but that doesn't mean I actually clicked on 17 ghosts. It just means that I got a total score of 17 because each ghost has its own value. So you're just gonna go to Scratch. I've already created a new project, and you can delete the cat sprite. And then you're gonna add a new sprite, um, ghost, and you're going to add the woods backdrop. So backdrops, woods. Click on that. And so first we're just going to make this ghost appear and disappear forever. And this is when the green flag is clicked. So you get the when green flag click block, and then you go to control and get the forever block. So it's on a forever loop. And you go to looks. You need to get both the show and hide block. I'll put hide before show because it's already showing. And need to go back to control and get 2 wait blocks. So that it doesn't, because if you don't have the wait blocks, it's just going to be so fast you won't even see it happening. Oh wait, let me title it Ghostbusters. So when I click on the green flag right now, it should just hide then show, and then hide then show. Alright. Okay, perfect. So first what we're going to do is make the amount of time it takes to hide and show random. That makes the game a little bit more exciting and well, more skillful. You need to be better. So you go to operator to get this pick random 1 to 10, and you can change it to we'll make it like 1 to 3, so it doesn't take too long. And then let's start it. Perfect. Okay. And now we're gonna also make the location at which it shows random too. So go back to motion and get this go to random position block. And let's see. So after we show, or after it's hidden, that's when we want to go to the random position, and then we want it to show in the new random position. So let's hide it. It's going to go to random position, then it's going to show right there. It's going to hide after a certain amount of time, then it's going to show in random position. Bam, perfect. So let's also add some more randomness by, first of all, let's make the size random of the ghost itself. So you can go to looks, get this set size to 100%, and put it right after or right before go to random position. And you can go back to operators and get this pick random. I'll make it like, let's say 50 to 150%. So it continuously hides and right. See, you can see right there it's 96, 56 now, or 59, sorry. And now it's 67 and just random. Oh, right there. Wait, let me wait for it to get into the center. Okay, there we go. And now what we're going to do, we're going to add the code for what it's supposed to do when it's clicked. So you can go to events, when this sprite clicked, and then we're going to add the hide block underneath it, because whenever it's clicked we want it to hide. And we're going to also go to sounds, and then choose a new sound. And you can really choose whatever sound you want. I'm pretty sure space ripple works fine too, so. It's a little bit too long for me. I'm going to choose a sound. I'll go to effects. Yeah, a zoop. That's what I wanted to do. So now when I go back to code and go to sound, the play sound zoop is already there. You can click on that. So now when I click on it, bam. Now when I click on the green flag and it starts running this code, it's going to start off hidden. So I think that's fine. So click on that. Bam. And just keep on. Okay, and let's just wait for it to show up, and then I'm gonna stop. There we go. So, oh, oopsie. Yeah, so this is why it's important to, it's a good idea to go to looks and get this show block and just keep it over here. So then whenever you need to, you can just click on it. Or you can just click on this button over here. It just shows and hides. So I'm just gonna move it. Oh, keep forgetting. Let me move this out here for now. And I'm gonna move the ghost back to the center of the screen. Okay, now we're gonna add the score variable. So to do that, you go to variables and click on make a variable, and then type in score or whatever. And every time we click on this ghost, we want this score to increase. So I'm going to get this change my variable by 1 and put it under when the sprite clicked. And I'll put it right before hide, so it's more accurate. And I'll also change it to score, because we want to change score by 1, not my variable. We're not using that variable. And also, whenever the green flag is clicked, we want it to refresh the score, so you get this set my variable to 0 block and change it to set score to 0 block. And there we have it. Now when we start, it should, every time we click on it, we should get points. There we go, 1 point. Remember, don't worry about the wait time in between the ghost appearances. That's because there's only 1 ghost right now, so when we add more ghosts, there'll be much more ghosts, so you'll have more chances to click on a ghost. Okay, now we're going to be adding, here, let me just change it back to oops. Keep on forgetting about that. I'll just take this out for now. So it's probably a good idea while you're actually creating the program to just get this when the sprite click block off of these rest of these, because it makes things a lot easier to just drag and drop these sprites. So to make the timer first, go to backdrops, because this is going to be an overarching like kind of aspect of the entire game. It's not going to be specific to one sprite, so it's best to do in backdrops. And we want the timer to start when the green flag is clicked, like the rest of the game. So you get this when green flag click block. And to make the timer, we're going to actually need a variable that's going to store the time inside of it. So make a new variable called time or timer. And when the green flag is clicked, we want to set the timer. Here, let me just move it to the side here. We want to set the time to 10 seconds. Or you can make it really whatever you want, but in the previous example it was 10, so I'll just keep it at that. And every second we want the time to decrease by 1. So you can just go to control and get a wait 1 second block, and then go back to variables and change time by -1. But remember, this will only run 1 time, right? It'll run this block, so it'll set a timer to 10, then it'll wait 1 second, then it'll change it to 9. But then it'll just stop. It won't repeat it. So we need to get a repeat loop. So we're going to go back to control and get this, not just a repeat, but repeat until. This makes it easier if you want to. Like, I could technically get a normal repeat block and say, like, repeat 10 times, because after 10 times it will equal 0. And then you can go and get the stop all button and put it at the end. That will work, but the problem with that is if we changed this number, like to 50 for example, we want it to be 50 seconds long, it will still stop after only 10 seconds. So you'll have to remember to change this number too. So the better way to do this, so you don't have to change both numbers every time you want to only change the time, is instead of using the repeat block, you can use the repeat until block. So you just put it right there, and then you can go to operators and get this equals operator, and go to variables and get this time variable, and then you can check if time, you can repeat until time equals 0. So then no matter what number we make it, even if we make it 100, it will keep on counting down until time will equal 0. Even if we make it 1,000, until time is 0, it will keep on counting down. So that's why it's better to do it this way, and that's why it's also better to make a variable rather than just saying repeat 10 times, wait 1 second, and like wait 1 second 10 times and just stop all. Because, well, first of all, you can see it on the top right here. It makes it much easier for the user. But also, you can use the variable so that you can easily change the number whenever you need to. But I'm just going to keep it 10 for now. Okay, lastly, we're just going to be adding some more sprites. So we can just go, here, let me go to the ghost and click on choose sprite. And instead of having to type for a specific one, so you can see these categories up on the top, and you can click on fantasy, and you can choose, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be fantasy, but these are, in my opinion, the best ones. This is where Ghost is in this one too. I'm going to get the bat, and I'm going to get Frank. Frank's kind of big right now, so I'm just going to make him like 80. Oh, 315. Oops. There we go. And lastly, I'm just going to, oh, this is a nice crystal costume. I'm going to add, let's see here. Let's do the dragon. I'll do both. I'll do dragon and goblin. I can't decide. So, dragon's already too big. I'm going to make him like 50. Oh, that's too small. Now he looks like a toy dragon. 70. Here we go. That's fine. And lastly, fantasy, goblin. There we go. Now you can just copy all this code. Yeah, and I'm putting this back over here, so to copy and paste it, all you have to do is drag the code over to another sprite, and it automatically duplicates it, and when you go into that sprite, it will show all the code there. So just do it for all the rest of the code, both the green flag code and the when the sprite click code, because you want them to be not only be moving, but also give us a score and hide and make the noises when they're clicked as well. I'm just gonna go for the goblin and done. Okay, so when you go to the rest of the sprites, at first it might look kind of weird because it looks like there's just one set of code, but it's actually because the code is overlapping the other one. So you can just move it down, and you should have 2 chunks of code for each sprite. Alright, so now you might want to add a little bit of variation for the score for each of the sprites. Like, for example, you might want the Frank to be giving you not that many points because it's so big, and you might want the bat to give you the most points because it's small, or something like that. So for the ghost, I'll just make it give me like 3 points. Bat 1, Frankenstein, or sorry, bat like 5, Frankenstein 1, dragon, I'll just say 2. No, dragon's kind of rare though, so 4. And goblin 2. Okay, so another thing you might want to do to add a little bit more variation and making it more difficult to get the high point characters is you might want to make those characters a little bit smaller and make them show for a little bit less time. So for example, we're having the bat give us 5 points. So if we want to make it more difficult to click on the bat, one way we could do that is set size to a smaller set of numbers. So maybe like 30% to like 70% only. Then it'll be smaller and hard to click. And another thing is we could show it for a less amount of time, or maybe make it high for a longer period of time. So I guess I could make this 3 to, let's say, 5, and make it show for only 1 to 2 seconds. And then for Frank, since it's only giving us 1 point, we can make it a little bit easier to get. So maybe like 100 to 150, and make it hide for only a little bit of time. Maybe like 1 to 3 is already fine, and then show for maybe 2 to 3 seconds. So it shows a little bit more on average. Okay, and that's it for the score and everything. You can add some more modifications if you choose to. Something I would suggest is probably change up the score. You can also make each sprite have its own separate sound when it's clicked. Like one could be zoop, like the ghost could be a zoop, and to just add more sounds, you just have to go to code and choose a sound really. And space or wacky, those are both good categories for this project. But you can also just look into all or effects if you really wanted to, and just scroll through all of them. There's quite a bit here. See a finger snap. Oh, that sounds kind of interesting. But I'm not going to do that right now. But if you wanted to, you could do that. And when you start the timer now, everything should start working. Now, there's only one issue you might notice. And that's that, well, first of all, the dragon was way too big. Because the dragon is giving us 4 points, so it should not be that big. But second of all of these sprites besides the ghost, it wasn't making the noise when I clicked on them. It was giving me the points, but not the noise. The reason for that is, although it does say play sound zoop, I haven't yet actually chosen the sound in the sound tab for that sprite yet. So you have to go to sounds, choose a sound, and literally get the zoop sound. And only then will it work. So now if I click on the bat, let me show the bat. Yeah, there we go. So that's why whenever you're duplicating code that involves music or some noise or effect or something, anything that involves sound, you have to go to sounds and get it manually yourself. You could also just do this though. You could go to sounds and drag this over to another sprite, and then when you go to that sprite, it already has it. And another thing that you might have noticed already in the sounds category is that each of them have their own separate sound already installed inside them. Like Ghost has space ripple already, Bat has the owl sound, Frank has the wolf howl. So you can feel free to use those sounds as well if you don't want to use Zoop or any other sound. But now, since I have uh, duplicated the Zoop sound into all of these sprites, it should be working. The sound should play for all of them. Let me just show all of them and click on them. There we go. Okay, now they're all making the sound. Perfect. So let me restart. And see, the bat there was super small, so that's good. Alright, and that's our game. I'm just going to do it one more time in full screen, just to finish it off. And remember, this is not the only changes you have to do. You can make some more changes as well, some more modifications if you want to. Maybe add a little bit more to the score. And another thing you could do is right here. This was happening before in earlier games too, but when the timer hits 0, more sprites don't appear. However, the sprites that were already showing stay showing. So you could possibly even add some code to make the sprites disappear when the timer equals 0. One way you could do that is broadcast some sort of message when timer hits 0 that says hide all sprites, and then you could put the when I receive hide all sprites message in all the individual sprites and say when you receive that message then hide or something like that. But that's your choice. So I'm just gonna click on these and get their points, and you can even choose to leave them in on purpose as well. But that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.